Well, as we look to our left and crane our necks to see beyond the director's box, there's Roy Hodgson, the England manager, just a few rows to our left. The two teams emerge from the corner tunnel here at Old Trafford. Spurs in their white shirts and navy shorts, led out today by Hugo Lloris, the captain, of course, a name talked about in these parts. Could he possibly be the successor to De Gea if De Gea is tempted to Madrid? That's one for another day. De Gea there second in line behind Rooney as United come out in their red shirts and white shorts. Big day for them, big day for so many of their individuals, many of them underperforming, with an opportunity today to get one over their Champions League rivals, because that's what this season has definitely turned into. There are four sides within 4 points of each other. Southampton picking up a point today at Stamford Bridge still can't be ruled out. You've got to feel that Liverpool have momentum behind them. They go to Swansea tomorrow. You've got Spurs chasing Manchester United hard, and today these two meet here at Old Trafford. The handshakes in front of us, Rooney leading the line for Manchester United. You'll hear the whole of Everton Newcastle over on 5 Live Sports Extra. We'll keep you in touch with goals here on 5 Live. But right now, time to hand to our commentary team here at Old Trafford, Robbie Savage and Alan Green.
As you say, Wayne Rooney leading the United players alongside the Tottenham 11, and he has his son Kai with him. He had his son Kai with him at Wembley when he won his 100th cap for England, and I think he was pointing to someone in the crowd. Presumably Colleen is at Old Trafford today, and can you see Mom, Kai? Well, he was looking into the stand anyway. Did you see the quote punch-up, Robbie, in the kitchen?
Yeah, I've seen it on.
This involving Wayne.
Social media. I think what the disappointing thing is there, that Wayne Rooney's in his own house, his own kitchen, and the video's leaked. And that's what I think the disappointing thing is.
Well, I'd love to know who was on the camera phone, and who decided to put it out there. I mean, it's ridiculous.
That's the disappointing thing for Wayne Rooney. His circle of friends, somebody's in house has actually leaked the video to a friend, and then the friend has leaked it to a newspaper. I think that for Wayne Rooney is very disappointing.
The other thing is he's got a pool, he's got a tennis court. What's he doing punching? Boxing gloves. Anyway, that's to one side. Let me give you the two lineups. Manchester United, first of all, with 3 changes from Monday night. Goalkeeper is De Gea, absolutely magnificent this season. The defence, Valencia, Jones, Smalling and Blint. Then we've got Herrera, Carrick, Fellaini, Mata, Young and Rooney. Tottenham's goalkeeper and captain is Lloris. Their defence is Walker, Dyer, Vertonghen and Rose. Rose is the only change for Tottenham today. Then we've got Mason and Bentaleb. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see Mason in the England squad either. Then Mason and Bentaleb. Then Townsend, Eriksson and Chadley. And finally, Harry Kane. Player of the month, second month in succession. Wonderful. And he's still a kid. He's just 21 years of age. What can he do here in Tottenham's white shirts, very dark navy shorts and white socks? Manchester United in the red shirts, white shorts, black socks. United defending the Stratford end in the first half. Herrera standing along Wayne Rooney. The referee is the best, as far as I'm concerned, Mark Clattenburg, and he's just checking his watch. We've had Chelsea 1, Southampton 1 in the Barclays Premier League today. Chelsea has 64 points, 6 clear of Manchester City with a game in hand. Then it's Arsenal, a point behind the champions Manchester City, and then it's Manchester United on 53 points. If they can win here today, it really tightens that gap, not just to Arsenal but to Manchester City, and would hold off the likes of Spurs and Liverpool who play tomorrow night away at Swansea. The ball is back, pass back to De Gea, anathema at Old Trafford. Not there's anything wrong with the way De Gea clears the ball. It's hit into the Tottenham half. Vertonghen stretches, hits it high into the United half. Carrick heads it away. Matt is on the right side at the moment for Manchester United. The ball's out of play. Throw into those in red. Valencia to take it. Valencia converted at times to a right wing back, and now it seems he's a right back. Here's Jones. Jones almost caught in possession. In fact, he was caught in possession. He was very lucky that the ball squirted away and into the Tottenham half. But that's careless. It doesn't fill you with confidence, that centre-back pairing of Jones and Smalling.
No, Jones and Smalling, yes, they're big, they're strong and athletic, but defensively questions out, and I've got to say, on the ball, they're one of the worst two on the ball I think a centre-half United have ever had.
Demiria, who's suspended today, just sitting to our left, it seems. Here's Valencia. Valencia inside the United half, back to Smalling, and Smalling to Jones. Harry Kane, he's one of our own. The chant from the away fans. Here's Jones again. Ericsson close by. The pass back to goalkeeper De Gea, and De Gea smashes it accurately to the far side of the field. Good header in by Young to Fellaini. On to Young again. Rooney just on the edge of the penalty area. Young doesn't cross immediately. Now he whips it in low, one bounce, and it's caught through by Lloris.
Yeah, it was a fantastic clearance from David De Gea. I would say he's better on the ball than Jones and Smalling. That diagonal pass to Ashley Young was absolutely fantastic. 50-yard crossfield ball, and he can keep the ball out of the net, but also he's very good with his feet.
What a pass back that was by Jones. Awful. Putting De Gea under ridiculous pressure.
As I was saying,
goodness gracious.
Jones and Smalling have centre-half position for Manchester United. If they do not invest in a centre-half or two in the summer, then something's massively wrong with the scouting network of this football club.
I mean, De Gea couldn't catch the ball. It was hit like grease lightning, and he used his foot to put it behind for a corner. At the Stretford end, corner to Tottenham. Played in left-footed towards the near post. Goes a long way, almost reached Kane, and it's cleared by Fellaini.
United all over the place in the start. Balls in the near post should have been dealt with. It went straight through everybody, and Harry Kane just couldn't get the ball under control. Wasn't expecting it, which is rare to say about Harry Kane, but what a chance already in the opening 2 or 3 minutes.
Rose with a throw-in to Harry Kane. A little nudge from Smalling, and then his boot puts it out of play for another Tottenham throw-in. Deeper inside the United half, level with the edge of the penalty area, or at least it was. The throw goes back by Rose to Bentaleb, and Bentaleb hits into Vertonghen to Lloris, despite pressure from Rooney. And Tottenham have started quite well here. 3 minutes gone. You're listening to 5 Live in the BBC. Robbie Savage sitting alongside me at Old Trafford. Don't forget on 5 Live Sports Extra, Ian Bryan is with Trevor Sinclair for Everton against Newcastle. Vertonghen for Tottenham Hotspur, winners at Old Trafford for the last 2 seasons. And it's in off Valencia to Vertonghen again. Vertonghen gets it back from Herrera, and he plays it accurately along the left touchline. Chadley, Kane to his right. It's flicked ahead of Harry Kane, one bounce, and De Gea has the ball in his hands.
Just before that, Townsend made a great run which wasn't spotted by Vertonghen, and Blint just let him go, and if the ball had been played, he'd have been in. That's the weakness in that left-hand side. Blint didn't track Townsend because he was scared of his pace. If he'd looked up earlier, Townsend was in on goal.
Robbie, one of the reasons I said we should... Oh, here's a good ball forward to Rooney. No, he just moved slightly too quickly. The flag's up for offside. One of the reasons I've been an advocate of just laying off Harry Kane, acknowledging his excellence, but not putting too much pressure on him. I look at Andros Townsend, who, when he first appeared for England, he's the next great thing, and now he can't be sure of his place in the Tottenham team.
Look at Ross Barkley as well. How well was he doing? All of a sudden he had a dodgy spell, and people started to write Ross Barkley off.
Right, let's get an update from that game at Goodison Park. Will Perry.
Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Allen, and a brilliant double save from Tim Howard, firstly keeping out Obertan from a corner, then seconds later Williamson with the follow-up. Everton through Lukaku had a shot curled directly at Tim Krul from 20 yards. Remember, Everton 3 points above the bottom 3, and Burnley in 18th. Everton 0, Newcastle 0.
And what news of the Six Nations rugby? Ian Carter in Italy.
Into the start of the second half, and France with first blood at this stage as well. Jules Plisson, who's a half-time replacement for Camille Lepers, slotting the penalty, and it means France lead by 12 points to 0.
And to the league code of rugby, Dave Woods.
Salford 18, Wakefield 6. Brilliant by Rangi Chase. Big dummy throw, and then he flashed through the gap to score underneath the 6. Griffins kicked the goal. 7 minutes of the second half played. Salford 18, Wakefield 6.
Thanks very much, Dave. Blint finds Young on the far side of the field, and then Young's pass was behind Daley Blint, and goodness, it was almost intercepted by Ericsson for Tottenham. It's a jittery start by Manchester United. Here's Smalling hitting it high and long for Fellaini. Fellaini brings the ball down off his chest, but also used his hand spotted by Mark Clattenburg, and it's a free kick to Spurs.
And that's what's going to happen when you got Fellaini in the team. Like you said earlier, that was a diagonal ball to Fellaini, but that was a measured, controlled ball, which Fellaini should have brought down his chest. He handballed it, but that's what's going to happen. He's just playing off Rooney. He's running support, but when he's in the team, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a bit like Andy Carroll.
It's an easy ball, Alan, for a defender to hit.
Yeah, and it's not criticism of Andy Carroll, but when he's playing Newcastle, Liverpool, West Ham, his colleagues are inclined to hit it long and high. But
if you've got a philosophy of wanting to keep the ball and keep possession, you want to move it across the back four into midfield, get it back, make triangles. You've got to be brave to do that. I think when you get a centre half and you've got an outball to Fellaini and you're not playing with confidence, that's what happened. You hit him early, and that's what's happening at Manchester United.
Now he wins the ball in the air well there, Fellaini. On by Young, Rooney into the penalty. Angle's very acute, trying to pull the ball back, hits it behind Mata, and it's knocked away to safety by Bentaleb, out for a throw-in.
Yeah, great pull back from Rooney, but only 2 men in the box, Herrera and Mata. You've got to get numbers for. This is Old Trafford, this is Manchester United. Get numbers in the box. 3 in the box, need more men in it.
Here's Valencia after the throw-in to Herrera. Herrera gives it away to Danny Rose. It's hit forward to Harry Kane, and the judgment of Mark Clattenburg is that Kane's shirt was being pulled towards a free kick to Spurs. The other thing that strikes me, the way they're lined up, Robbie, they've got 3 behind Rooney. Mata, who surely is the number 10 player, is wide on the right, Young on the left, that's okay, and Fellaini in between them.
Yeah, you're looking at Herrera's looking to get there as well. It's Carrick who's really isolated as that one defensive midfield player, and he's going to have a hard job with Eriksen, floating around him. Townsend making runs, Chadley making runs. It's going to be a very big afternoon for...
It's high. Rooney is offside again. I thought Dyer had actually made a mistake there. Free kick Spurs. 8 minutes played here on 5 Live. Manchester United 0, Spurs 0. Earlier it finished Chelsea 1, Southampton 1. But given City's defeat last night, I think Chelsea can lose 3 games at least and still win the title. Here's Jones from Manchester United. Left of the centre circle on the halfway line to Blind. On to Carrick. Carrick to Fellaini. Fellaini into the penalty area. Here's a chance. Left foot shot, 1-0. Low pass Lloris to his left, and Fellaini has put Manchester United in front when they started quite appallingly at Old Trafford. What does that matter? They've scored 1-0.
What a ball from Michael Carrick there. Him back in the team. His first thought was to play the ball forward. It was a great run from Fellaini. Carrick got on the half turn. He got into a position and he slid it through to Fellaini. First forward pass, and what a finish from Fellaini. Left foot. You've got to ask questions about Lloris. He's tried to dive foot forward instead of diving to the side with his arms. It's a good finish from Fellaini. Great forward pass from Carrick. We give Fellaini a bit of criticism with a high ball, but it's a great finish from the big man.
I've always said Fellaini's a fantastic player, world class. No, it was a good finish, but Lloris slightly dodgy on his left-hand side there, and it's unusual to have any criticism of the French goalkeeper.
But Carrick's in the team, and the first thought was a forward pass. If that would have been Blind in that area, I don't think that goal would have come, because he'd have, gone sideways.
So Manchester United lead Tottenham Hotspur by a 1-0 after Spurs started the brighter of the 2 sides. Here's Mason on to Townsend, slightly short, but it's played to Kane. Heavy challenge on Harry Kane on the far side of the field, but it's out for a throw into Tottenham, which is taken by Mason. Now it's back to Dyer, and Dyer quickly on to Vertonghen. Vertonghen toward the halfway line, plays it to Rose. Vertonghen once more. Bentaleb available in the centre circle. Vertonghen now plays it further forward to Harry Kane, and Smalling gets a foot in there, diverts the ball away, and here's Ashley Young from Manchester United. Rooney made his break too early. Young still has the ball. Now it's in towards Mata instead, cleared by Rose. Mata was leaning on Danny Rose, and rightly it's a free kick to Spurs.
I've got to say, for the goal, extremely poor defending from Dyer there. He's let Fellaini get on his shoulder, and he out-sprinted him, put the ball into the bottom corner, but it's poor defending. Pochettino won't be happy defensively from that goal.
There's Blind clearing the ball away from Andros Townsend, and Jones from Manchester United overhits the pass. The cross came Dyer. He actually hit it off Fellaini, the goal scorer, out for Spurs throw-in. What news of Italy-France? Ian Carter.
Well, France in control here. They've just scored the game's first try. A brilliant score as well. Johan Maestri is first in international rugby after a brilliant burst from Scott Spedding, and that was converted by Plisson. So France needing now by 19 points to 0.
We played nearly 12 minutes here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Spurs 0. Fellaini with a goal in the 9th minute. United with a throw-in on the far side of the field. And any concerns amongst the Old Trafford crowd, partly eliminated by that goal. There's a lift around the ground. You can feel it, Robert.
Well, you can see, because there was a ball forward from Carrick. His first thought was to attack the Spurs defence, and it was a great way to pass from him. That's why he's in the team. They've missed him massively. He's very underrated, I believe, Michael Carrick still. What the influence he can have on this football team just by getting the ball down on the floor and playing it forward.
Not one foul on Mata, but 2 fouls. 2 free kicks in very quick succession, just beyond the halfway line, near side of the field. Manchester United right. United playing from left to right as we look out from our commentary position in the south stand at Old Trafford. Fellaini from the free kick, heads it down but behind Rooney, and it's cleared by Mason to the left side for Tottenham, and Danny Rose chips it towards Harry Kane. A little bit of shirt tugging again, not sure who's at fault. Play allowed to continue. Here's Juan Mata. Mata now inside right channel, and away it goes to the far side of the field to Ashley Young. Blint with a run into the penalty area. Young steps infield, then he backheels the ball. Blint's onside. Blint doesn't cross immediately. Now he does, right-footed. Fellaini waits. Rose jumped ahead of him and headed it clear, not once but twice. It's with Michael Carrickle, provider of the pass that led to the goal. Back to Mata. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Jones to Blint, on to Fellaini, and Dyer across. Dyer just hooks the ball out of play, throwing to Manchester United. I think they quite like the way United over the last few minutes have been pressing. Here's Fellaini, back to Blint, wildly high cross, but behind the goal it goes, and it's a goal kick to Tottenham.
Yeah, they played on the front foot. They're getting the ball down. They're playing it on the floor. Yes, they've had the occasional long ball to Fellaini, but I've got to say, other than the first 2 or 3 minutes, when they were passing the ball back to the goalkeeper, they've been very, very positive in their play.
Tottenham unbeaten in the last 5 games against Manchester United, but trailing here 1-0 after nearly 14 minutes. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. A reminder that Everton Newcastle is on 5 Live Sports Extra. Mata initially got the ball off Rose, but Rose was too quick. Rose into Vertonghen, and Vertonghen's clearance runs kindly for Tottenham to Eriksson. Good ball on to Chadley. Chadley running at Smalling. Owen tried to squeeze the pass through to Mason, who'd run up from deep in midfield. Heading United player, United are back in possession. With Blint to Smalling. No Rocco today, he's injured. No Shaw, he's injured. No Evans, he's suspended. Like Di Maria. Here's Valencia over the halfway line. Valencia was guilty of that awful pass in the cup game against Arsenal that led to Welbeck scoring the winner. Now Rooney, right in the penalty area. Rooney plays it in softly, and that went straight to Vertonghen, who clears it to the halfway line. And Smalling does well, heading it away from Kane. Carrick to Blint for the home side and the far side of the field, and Blint passes back via Jones to De Gea.
Smalling's getting very tight to Harry Kane when the ball's in Spurs back 4. He's very tight, he's winning the ball. He's had a good start of the game, Smalling, actually, against Harry Kane. Here's Herrera on the halfway line for Manchester United. Passes to his right to Valencia, into Herrera again. He's been pressurised by Bentaleb. Valencia once more, now Mata hits it to Jones. He's got some room to run forward, and initially I thought that was a really good pass to the left side, but it was slightly ahead of him. Let's go to Goodison and Will Perry.
Still Everton 0, Newcastle 0. Everton with a corner. Leighton Baines left foot into the 6-yard box, and it's punched away by Krul. Newcastle has started really well. Lukaku had an effort though from 25 yards, held low to his left by Tim Krul in the Newcastle net. No league win at Goodison for Everton in 2015. It's still Everton 0, Newcastle 0.
And it's here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Spurs 0. Fellaini's goal in the 9th minute. Smalling from Manchester United runs away from Harry Kane over the halfway line, and then flicks it to his right side, to the right full-back, Valencia, onto Mata. Mata under pressure from Rose. Ball goes out of play. Mata thinks he was fouled by Rose, but it's only a throw-in.
That's Fellaini's 4th Premier League goal this season, the same amount as Falcao, so...
I told you he's world-class. Definitely world-class, Fellaini. I've always thought that. Worth every penny of 28 million. Or whatever. Anyway, I'm not degrading him. I know he's a good player. He just has never seemed to be a natural fit for Manchester United, Robert.
No, but you've got to say, what a wonderful finish on his left-hand side.
It was.
There, into the bottom corner. Lloris possibly could have dived with his, to his left with his arms, but he went with his foot and it was in the bottom corner. But
well, we came to look at Harry Kane, and we're just marvelling at Marouane Fellaini.
I think Spurs, haven't been great so far, and is it going to be another Spurs performance when they're nearly going to get in that top 4, nearly going to put pressure on people, but just fizzle out towards the end of the season, like Spurs occasionally tend to do? That when are they really going to put back-to-back wins against big clubs and really be in contention for that 4th place? I think at the minute, after 15 minutes, they've been poor.
They've got to throw on the halfway line in front of the Alex Ferguson stand on the far side of the field, and then they make a right mess of it with an attempted back pass that Rooney almost got to, hooked away by Vertonghen. Mata wins the ball, beating Bentaleb. Mata's involved again, finding Carrick, and Carrick swings a lovely pass to the left side, and Ashley Young. Blint on the overlap along that left flank for Manchester United. Young to Blint, and Blint's cross hits Walker, and it's behind for a Manchester United corner.
Again, Carrick, first touch out of his feet. He moved onto his right and then spread the ball wide to Ashley Young, who was really on his heels on the white line, and that's what you do.
Great applause for Juan Mata as he goes across to take this corner. Get the feeling he's rated rather more highly by the United fans than the United coach. Mata from the left. Plays the corner in left footed, deep for Fellaini. Fellaini jumps, heads it down, still in the press. Carrick is headed in! Well, they didn't seem any great trouble for the Spurs defence, but Carrick was allowed a free header, and he parted beyond Lloris, again to the goalkeeper's left, and after just 18 minutes, United are clear. Manchester United 2, Spurs 0.
Again, it's that man Fellaini causing havoc in the box. It's a Mata corner, to the back post, and Fellaini wins the initial header. It's rebounded to Carrick, who's put the ball into the bottom corner. Nobody on the post. The defender didn't react quick enough. It's a header from by the penalty spot. No real pace on it. You've got to question the defending once again. Why didn't the defender go back onto the post? I don't know, but it was Fellaini who won the initial header. Fellaini's having a massive influence already in this game.
I didn't think from that distance Carrick was going to score with a header.
You've got to say, I'm not sure, was it Chadley who should have gone back onto the post? He didn't, and the ball goes into the bottom corner. Lloris no chance, but again, poor defending. But Fellaini won the initial header.
Manchester United 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Everybody talks about this run of games for United. They're away to Liverpool next, then home to Villa, then home to Manchester City, away to Chelsea, away to Everton. Yeah, okay. They're tough games, but a win today and they'll be lifted enormously.
Well, there'll be what would they be? A point behind?
A point behind Arsenal, 2 behind Manchester City.
Yeah, so what it does, if Liverpool come in tomorrow night, that brings City, as we said before the programme, into the race for 3rd, 4th place.
There's a red card at Celtic in the Scottish League Cup final, Roddy.
Yes, we had 3 last week when these teams met. 2 of them were rescinded, but they won't be this time. Dundee United, Sean Dillon, straight leg tackle, studs up right into Izaguirre, caught the Honduran bottom of his shin. Red card, straight off. Dundee United, a goal down and a man down.
Here's Manchester United, 2 goals up. We haven't reached the midway point of the first half yet. Rooney in the centre circle, looking for Young, intercepted by the head of Walker, not cleared properly though. Blint to Young, not a red shirt inside the penalty area, even near the penalty area for Manchester United. So it's played backwards initially to Fellaini, who certainly earned his money this afternoon so far, scoring the first goal, and his header led to the second goal. Carrick and Fellaini in partnership again. Here's Jones over the halfway line to Fellaini, and Fellaini back now to Carrick, and Jones on to Young. Young tried to flick it to Blint, but it hit, I think, Walker, rebounded to Young, and it's out for a throw in to Tottenham. A goal at Goodison, Will Perry.
A huge goal from an Everton point of view. Everton 1, Newcastle 0. James McCarthy with the goal on 20 minutes, allowed to wander into the Newcastle box just from the edge of the 18-yard box, unleashed a shot, bizarre goal, completely wrong-footed Tim Krul, who's gone to his right, and it's gone right through the middle of the goal to give Everton a 1-0 lead against Newcastle.
And don't forget, you can hear commentary in that game on 5 Live Sports Extra with Ian Bryan and Trevor Sinclair. 2-0 to Manchester United at Old Trafford. 21.5 minutes played in the first half. Tottenham have a free kick. No, what a mess they made of that. The Tongan's pass to Walker. Walker must have been aware of the imminent pressure of Young, and he allowed the ball to squirt off his boot, out for a throw into United.
Yeah, Spurs are not getting their creative players in the game. Eriksen's been a passenger. You know, Smalling's dominating Kane with balls into his chest or his head, and it's been a very good start for Manchester United.
That's a good ball by Smalling, hit 50 yards. Excellent control by Young. Young to the left of the penalty, into the penalty. This is a great run. This could be 3-0 coming up. No, his cross from the left didn't find a red shirt in the penalty area, and it's now with Chadley. Back to Rose with Tottenham, on to Harry Kane, and immediately Smalling hustling him. Smalling hustling him into a mistake. Smalling now holds off Kane. Kane's going to pull him down, is he, for a free kick? I thought Mark Clattenburg might have given a United free kick there. Wasn't given, but United get the ball back off Tottenham anyway, and Jones plays it back to De Gea.
That's a fascinating battle there, Smalling against Kane, both physically strong, and I would say at the minute Smalling's having the better of the exchange.
Yep, without doubt. Walker back to Lloris. Questions about Lloris in both Manchester United goals. Now it's with Dyer, one of their 2 central defenders, and Dyer drives it long in the direction of Chadley. Valencia's back there. Chadley heads it in the direction of Kane, but it's cleared by Smalling. And now Mata to Jones for Manchester United. I've watched a fair few games featuring Manchester United play, Robbie, and I don't think they've played as well as this.
No, they've been on the front foot, they've been positive, and other than the first 2 or 3 minutes when they looked a bit vulnerable, you know, pass back to the keeper that corner, but other than that, Ashley Young staying wide, Mata's linking up well, Fellaini's been a huge influence, and Carrick's pulling the strings. What they're doing, they're passing forward, they're not going side to side, slow, pedestrian, they're getting the ball, you know, passing the ball forward, and that's what the fans here want.
And Eriksen, Townsend and Chadley aren't on the ball enough. In fact, I've hardly noticed Eriksen, and as a consequence, from the close marking of Smalling, Kane hasn't had a kick. Here's De Gea, out to Chris Smalling, to the right of his penalty area, Stretford end of Old Trafford, and driven long towards Fellaini. Fellaini with a glancing header on, but it runs to Walker, and Walker gives the ball away. Goodness, that's awful. Now Young on the far side of the field, fouled by Walker, who's had a nightmare opening 24 minutes.
You know, four or 5 minutes before that, he miscontrolled a pass which led to a United throw in there. He gives the ball away. Ashley Young's got the bit in for pace. You know, poor defending, stupid free kick to give away. Very poor start from Kyle Walker in front of the England manager.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, Roy Hodgson's in the director's box to our left. I'm not sure when he's naming this squad of 28. Thursday. Alistair Yeomans is part of the England group with me. He says it's Thursday. 2 games, Lithuania at Wembley on the Friday night, and then Tuesday we'll be in Turin for the friendly with Italy. Rooney's free kick in towards the near post, towards Smalling, headed away by Tottenham, back inside the Tottenham penalty area. Valencia crosses. Goodness, if that had reached Smalling, that had been under further pressure as far as. But it's with Eriksen on the far side. Eriksen didn't like the option of Walker behind him, but he has to play it to the right back, and it's cleared upfield. And then Blint meets it first, smacks it high, bouncing towards the Tottenham penalty area. Mata was there, but he's only a tiny little figure in relation to the 2 central defenders for Tottenham. Tottenham clear. It's with Rose tackled by Valencia. Ball breaks to Chadley. Chadley now with Kane in a good position. I say good position, but he'd run offside. That's a free kick.
Yeah, but what was highlighted there was the work rate and the pressure United put on that back 4 of Spurs. It was Vertonghen and Dyer who initially let the ball bounce. I don't know why. You got 2 centre halves, you let Mata challenge you, and the high work, the pressure United put on there with Chadley. He took too many touches. Kane ran offside.
Let's go to Salford Wakefield in Rugby League. Dave Woods.
Salford 24, Wakefield 12. Paul McShane scampered over for Wakefield to put them back in it, but Junior Sauer still since scored Salford's 4th try, featuring a 50-metre gallop from Adrian Morley on his 300th Super League appearance. Salford 24, Wakefield 12.
Thanks, Dave. Alistair's just handed me a note about Tottenham, quote, away to top teams this season. I'll give you the results in a moment. Here's Harry Kane. Harry Kane runs in field, loses the ball. Not been the most productive afternoon so far for the England player to be Harry Kane. Manchester City 4, Spurs 1. Chelsea 3, Spurs 0. Liverpool 3, Spurs 0. Spurs 2 rather. Ball played in by Fellaini. It just ran away from Mata. And is it running out of play? Mata does well, keeps it in play. Herrera back now to Valencia. Midway inside the Tottenham half. Manchester United certainly overwhelmingly dominant since they took the initial lead through this man. Fellaini added to subsequently with Carrick's header. 2-0 United lead. 27 minutes gone in the first half. It was Liverpool 3, Spurs 2, and Arsenal 1, Tottenham 1.
Yeah, including the 2 goals today.
Yep, another 2 today. Ball played into Rooney. Rooney's offside.
Yeah, including the 2 goals today. Yeah,
it's not Rooney, it's Mata. Sorry, I got the hair mixed up.
They've conceded 13 goals away from home against the top 4 sides now, and again you can see why, because defensively Vertonghen and Dye been all over the place. Kyle Walker's not woken up yet. People saying that Rose might be the best English left back on today's evidence. No, he's miles off.
I quite like Bertrand. Young towards Herrera, cleared by Vertonghen. Ball's on the halfway line. Manchester United in possession again. Carrick to Smalling, and Smalling has the confidence to run forward, approaching the penalty area, and then shows why he should stay back, because his attempted pass to Young was wildly overhit and it's behind for a goal kick.
But you can see the positivity in his play. He's run out with the ball. He's had the confidence to do it. No challenge on him. And if his way of pass is better to Young's in on goal. You've got to say Fellaini started this game outstandingly well. The ball across the box there to Mata, which Rose just got a touch on, was absolutely fantastic. Fellaini's been the best player on the pitch so far.
And De Gea's done absolutely nothing because he hasn't needed to. So no man of the match award so far for De Gea. And Fellaini looks as if he might get it. Spurs started quite brightly, but honestly, for the last 20 minutes they've been awful. Free kick to Tottenham, just over the halfway line, knocked back into the Spurs half to Dyer. And on it goes to his partner in the centre of the defence, Vertonghen. Vertonghen moves gingerly into... Sorry, I had to groan because that was an awful pass by Vertonghen. United hit it long. Rooney heads it down. Here's Herrera. Herrera back to Mata. Mata with Young available on the far side, but the pass is shorter instead to Fellaini. Carrick, Fellaini and Carrick once more. The passing sharper today for Manchester United. They're pressing. The movement is quicker. Valencia down the right side. Valencia leaves it for Herrera. Fellaini is waiting in the penalty area. Pass goes into Mata instead. Now the cross to Fellaini. Chested down inside the penalty area. Knocking it wide to Young. Young takes on Townsend. Townsend gets back in there. And is the ball going behind for a corner kick? No, it's static on the goal line. Well done, Young. Finding Blint. Blint tries to cross the ball. Might get another chance. Now it's squirts behind, and it is a corner to United.
Yeah, you can hear the Old Trafford crowd. They're really happy with what they're seeing. High pressure, work rate, desire, winning second balls, chasing lost causes, and that's what this United team's all about today.
More rich applause for Juan Mata. And we're going to have a change. Thanks, Robbie, because my concentration was on the corner. It'll be a Tottenham change in a moment. Ball played in. Rooney heads the ball goalwards. Headed away. Smalling heads it goalwards. Cleared by Tottenham. And we're going to find Dembele coming on for Tottenham.
It's got to be tactical. I can't see anybody limping out there.
No.
Spurs have been absolutely woeful. They can't get to grips with the 4-1-4-1 formation. This is obviously must be an attacking move, because Dembele with the ball running at players is very exceptional from that midfield area.
Right, well, he's going to replace Townsend. So Dembele quickly on. And that's what I was saying earlier about Harry Kane and the example of Andros Townsend. The next great thing not just for Tottenham but for England, and here he is substituted after half an hour at Old Trafford.
Yeah, we don't know if it's an injury, but he's run off. He's walked straight past. Yeah, he's walked straight past his manager there. So that would suggest to me that he's not happy with the manager's decision. You know what is it? I think what's going to happen now. Chadley's going to go onto the right-hand side. You know, and Dembele into a central area.
Ericsson coming to the left side for the moment. Smalling hits it upfield for Manchester United, cleared by Vertonghen, but only to Herrera and Mata. Mata's just a source of invention in that United midfield. Here he is again from Blind's pass. Oh, he loses the ball there. Was there a trip? Yeah, yellow card for Juan Mata, trying to retrieve the ball again. I think it was Mata who's booked.
Yeah, I think what they'll do now, Spurs, they'll go to a 4-2-3-1, you know, with Bentaleb and Mason protecting the woeful back four, you would say today, you know, and letting the other players go and try and express themselves in United's final third, which have not been in except for the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, well, I congratulate Pochettino on not being afraid to make an early change. Sort of thing Mourinho would do on the rare occasions Chelsea found themselves in trouble. Change.
You could talk about formations all we like. It's about the players at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know, formation, this philosophy, that. It's about players. And if players perform well, we've seen Blackburn and Liverpool against, you know, 4-3-4-3. They defended in numbers, 2 banks of 4, and defended very well.
They did really well, Blackburn Rovers. You'll hear that replay, by the way, on the 8th of April. I know you will, because I'll be doing it. Blackburn and Liverpool for a place in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Here's Jones for Manchester United. Comfortably in front here at Old Trafford by 2-0. Fellaini and Carrick. Smalling hits it upfield, took a deflection off Dembele, and now it's out of play. It's going to be thrown to Manchester United, halfway inside the Spurs half. There has to be a rapid improvement from Tottenham for Tottenham to have any hope of getting out of this game with even a point. The throw-in goes to Herrera. Herrera held off 2 challenges. Great play by Herrera, but is he colourblind? I mean, he played the ball back to 2 Tottenham players. The red shirts were to his left.
It was initially great play, strength, and he thought Rooney was making that run in behind the centre half of Tongan. Rooney didn't make it, but you know, as soon as Herrera put his head down, he played the pass, but Rooney didn't make the run. But positive play once again.
Oh, given away by Bentaleb. Rooney is the ball, surrounded by white shirts. He's still going forward. This could be 3-0, and it is 3-0. Wayne Rooney. Goal number 13 of the season for the Manchester United captain, and here we are 12 minutes before half time. It's a bit like Sunderland and Villa yesterday. You know, one side just demolishes the other in the first half of the game. United are demolishing Spurs. It's United 3, Spurs 0.
And the thing there, Rooney's celebration, he just fell to the floor like he'd been knocked out. You know, fantastic celebration from Wayne Rooney. But you've got to say, Bentaleb there with a square pass to Rooney, and he's drove at the defence. For Tongan, that is absolutely shocking defending. Absolute shocking defending. It's either Dyer or Vertonghen. I think it's Eric Dyer who's just, Rooney's just gone past him like he's not there. You know, you've got to say he took Andres Townsend off. He could have took any one of them Spurs players off. They have been absolutely woeful in this first half. But great celebration from Wayne Rooney as if he'd been knocked out. Great finish.
He took the goal very well. Unlike the uppercut that he faced in his kitchen. Anyway, well, this is a very happy day for Manchester United fans. I didn't come here, Robbie, remotely expecting one side to take a grip on the game after, what, 35 minutes?
No, they play with an energy and intensity which this Old Trafford crowd demand, and I've got to say that for the formation of the 4-1-4-1 with Fellaini playing in an advanced role has really suited them today, with Carrick back in the team playing balls forward early.
And De Gea has been troubled only by 2 errant back passes by his players. Here's Valencia. How many in the first half for Manchester United? Herrera, Mata and Carrick. Carrick, his pass was a little hard for Valencia to collect. He didn't properly, and it's out for a Tottenham throw-in.
You know, I feel a bit sorry for Spurs fans because they always seem to give them hope. You know, can we get in that top 4? But they never seem to do it. And I think they've done it. Was it once under Harry? You know, in recent years, but they seem to play with an energy, and people say, yeah, we got a chance, but again, they're going to come short on today's evidence. Very, very poor.
Absolutely. We can say with confidence that Manchester United, after this game, will move on to 56 points. So second, third and fourth in the Barclays Premier League, separated by just 2 points. City on 58, Arsenal on 57, Manchester United on 56, and then what can Liverpool do tomorrow night?
It's a crucial game for Liverpool tomorrow at Swansea. Difficult place to go. There's goals in that game, but Liverpool need to go there and win, really.
Yep, totally agree. And then, of course, next Sunday it's Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield. It'll be a touchy little game, that. Very friendly. Here's Dembele, who used his hand to control that ball, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. And Tottenham look absolutely battered, trailing by 3-0. Young on the far side of the field for Manchester United. On to Blint. Blint into Fellaini, who started the havoc. Now the cross. Rooney again, shoots wide on the volley.
It's amazing that, it's a forward run from Fellaini, who's causing all kinds of problems. He's cut the ball back to Wayne Rooney, who's standing. He's not moving. He's standing on the penalty spot. You've got two centre-halves in Vertonghen and Dyer, and they're not marking him. He doesn't move. He stands still. The ball falls to him. The two centre-halves, the manager's got to get into them at half-time. They've been absolutely pathetic, Vertonghen and Dyer.
And then they're caught again. Dembele loses the ball. Here's Mata, edge of the penalty here. Mata didn't get the pass right to Ashley Young, and it's cleared by Tottenham. Here's Harry Kane. Kane's hardly touched the ball in the first 37 minutes. Finds Mason. On to the far side to Chadley. Dembele in a central position. Chadley approaching the Manchester United penalty area at the Stretford end of the ground. Back it goes to Bentaleb, and now Rose. United temporarily in defence, but you suspect it won't be for long. I can't believe the transformation in attitude of United's approach, Robbie. It's the intensity of it.
Yeah, the intensity's, I've heard about this Spurs team. I've seen them a few times, the way they press, the way they, don't let teams settle their work rate. I've not seen any of that today from this Spurs team, because United have been so good.
Here's Dyer. That's an awful pass forward. I mean, if it hadn't hit a United player, it was going for a goal kick. Now Rooney. Rooney goes down, wasn't fouled, and it's played forward by Vertonghen. And now Mason takes it up. Back to Bentaleb inside the centre circle. Tottenham simply have to get a goal back before half-time. Now it's clipped forward. Harry Kane's onside. Oh, I hate that. I thought he's offside. I looked to the linesman. There's no flag raised. And it was only when the ball finally made its way through to Kane that he raised the flag.
Yeah, it was a good line from United, the back four. They held the line very well. Kane got in between Smalling and Jones, but the ball was too slow coming to him. He went too early, and the linesman got that absolutely spot on.
He got it right, but am I wrong to wish that they would raise their flags immediately?
I totally agree.
What's the point in holding off? And actually, I think it gets spectators' nerves all in a fray. Anyway, he was offside. Here's Carrick for Manchester United. Carrick's having a really good game. That wasn't his best pass, though. The intention was right. He was trying to play Young down the left side. Young has been transformed over the last few games.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at this United team under Van Gaal, you'd probably say Ashley Young probably only one that's improved. You could say the goalkeeper, but Van Gaal won't be taking. He'll be the goalkeeping coach. So, as where Brendan Rodgers transformed players on the training pitch, you've got to say only Ashley Young under Van Gaal's probably improved.
Here's Chadley. Good tackle by Jones. Just outside his penalty area. Jones into Carrick. And, I just see renewed confidence amongst the Manchester United ranks. The results have been very good. Just Arsenal in the Cup. Only the third defeat in 23 games in all competitions. But they haven't been playing as if they're enthused with confidence. Today is markedly different. Manchester United 3, Spurs 0, 5 minutes to go, half-time and 5 live.
Say, Alan, this is probably their best performance of the season in the half. Was it the Newcastle game here when they played exceptionally well early in the season? I think that was probably one of their best performances, but this half has been, I believe, one of their best performances of the season, no question about it.
Totally agree. I can't remember seeing United play better than that this season. It's Everton 1, Newcastle 0. at Goodison Park. Commentary continuing on 5 Live Sports Extra with Ian Bryan and Trevor Sinclair. Here's Walker.
You've got to say, Alan, as well, that's without Di Maria, their record signing.
Yeah. Well, Falcao, I agree with you. Falcao will be history. Di Maria, I gather his wife's very badly upset by what happened, the attempted burglary at their home. It's difficult to deal with, and Di Maria's form hasn't been good. But that remains to be seen. Here's Blint for Manchester United, who suddenly don't look in such bad shape. Carrick to Smalling, and on to Herrera. Valencia, much quicker the tempo from the home side. Mata to Herrera, onto Valencia. Unfortunately for Valencia, it hit his left leg, and there's been a goal at Celtic. Roddy.
Yes, indeed, and it's for Celtic in the Scottish League Cup final. 10 minutes left to play. That's the tin lid on it. James Forrest would come on as a substitute, finally stretching United just beyond breaking point. Dundee United 0, Celtic 2.
Thank you very much, Roddy. Here at Old Trafford, Manchester United 3, Spurs 0. Oh, Smalling just steps away from Harry Kane as if he's not there.
He's not giving Harry Kane a kick. He's right on him. He's pressuring him high up the park. He's winning balls in front of him. He's winning headers. Harry Kane, in front of the England manager, I believe he should be in England squad. He's done 30 goals this season, including goals in 21s, but he is not getting a look in with Smalling marking him so tight this afternoon.
I'll be astounded if he's not in the squad.
Yeah, he's got to be in the squad.
But I can't see him starting against Lithuania. Turin, yes. That would make sense. Here's Dyer for Tottenham, who've been stunned by what they've been greeted with at Old Trafford in this first 42 minutes. Ball just over the halfway line. Mason initially lost it, but it's back with Bentaleb, and now Dembele, and Dembele with Rose down the left side. That's the near touchline as we look out from our position in the south stand at Old Trafford. A lull for Manchester United, but they're 3-0 up. Here's Chadley. Chadley bursting away from Blint. Chadley looking to cross the ball, but doesn't do so. Instead, it's a pass into Eriksson, back towards Chadley, and Chadley heads the ball forward. I think it's gone behind for a goal kick. That's what it's gone behind for.
Yeah, Spurs have yet to test the game in that final third, and with Harry Kane, with Eriksson, Dembele, Chadley, not to test the goalkeeper in the first half, when you're playing so well and you're positive coming to the game, is really poor. And the way they defended,
the defending, Robbie's been really poor from a Tottenham perspective. Questions over all 3 goals, but all well taken by Manchester United players.
Yeah, Rooney's finish was delightful, and if it was a boxing match, it would have been stopped by now.
He wanted to be a boxer. He did an interview with Radio Merseyside a few years ago saying that, if he didn't make it in football, he wanted to be a boxer. He chose the right option, I think. Ball's out of play for, it's not a throw into Tottenham, it's a throw into Manchester United. Valencia takes it to the said Mr. Rooney, and we know he can look after himself as well. And now it's out for another again, I thought that was a Tottenham throw-in, but the referee Mark Clattenburg has given it to Manchester United inside the final minute of a first half that is rose/red tinted. Manchester United 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Young on the far side of the field. Back to Blint, and now it's Smalling, almost on the centre spot. And now Valencia, near side of the field, to Mata. I think Mata's playing really well. I'm glad that he's in a reasonably central position for most of the time. Even if he's been told to play right, he keeps going inside and being effective there. Fellaini to Young on the far side of the field. Manchester United left. Steps to his left, then to his right, and to his left again. Crosses low. It hits Mason. Should be cleared. And finally it is cleared. High towards Harry Kane. And the ball, typical of the afternoon for Harry Kane and Tottenham, it hits him on the back into United's possession. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. The pass forward to Kane again. Kane suddenly submerged by red shirts. Doesn't get the pass right to Dembele, and it's back with United.
Got to say, he hasn't got much chance. He's got Smalling, Jones.
Young looking for Rooney. Rooney gets to the ball. Dyer
has been Dyer.
Cleared. Yep, absolutely right. Here's Rooney. Rooney smashes a shot in, but it was always going wide. It is wide. It was a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I think the whole Spurs team was being Dyer, not just Eric Dyer. And there, Rooney out sprints Dyer, turns, comes back towards his own goal, drives inside and is allowed a free shot. It's so poor. Where's the two holding midfielders in Ben Taleb and Mason?
That goal for Wayne Rooney, the third for Manchester United, his 8th in his last 9 league starts against Tottenham. Here's Eriksson, so quiet as to be almost anonymous. Back to Rose, and there's the half-time whistle. And it's been a great first half for Manchester United, Robbie. Not just the scoreline, the way they played today. Suddenly they look more like Manchester United.
Yeah, they've been on the front foot. The influence of Carrick. That goal, his first thought was to pass the ball forward to Fellaini, who finished it brilliantly well, and they've been absolutely magnificent Manchester United in this first half.
And no names, no pack drill. Our engineer, who's got a slight affiliation towards Manchester United, still claims he's nervous at half-time. No need. 3-0.
Oh, he looks it. Well, Jose Mourinho used the expression optimistics earlier in the programme. I think even the optimistics in the Stratford end weren't anticipating that. 3-0. Wow. And Michael Carrick, Robbie Savage, influential, scored one, set up the first, of course. Got a mention from Louis van Gaal in the programme today. I'll quote you what Van Gaal said in just a moment. We've got a penalty at Hampden Park. Here's Roddy Forsyth.
And it's a penalty for Celtic. Dixon of United brought down the Celtic sub James Forrest, so a penalty to Celtic, who missed one last week. Lee Griffiths in the Scottish Cup tie between these sides had one saved by Radoslav Czerniak. That means he no longer gets to take the penalties, and Forrest made sure that when he was brought down he was going to step up to take this one. Forward comes the substitute. Czerniak saves it again. Forrest gets to it, puts it past the post. Celtic cannot score from penalty kicks, but they've got 2 goals from open play. Dundee United 0, Celtic 2, 4 minutes left of normal time.
OK, Louis van Gaal picked out Michael Carrick in his programme notes today. He says, we have him back from injury. He's one of my captains, writes Van Gaal. His influence and experience on the pitch will be needed during the run-in, and as he has been through so many in the past. Interesting, Robbie, the timing of that, because he's understated, but he's influential.
Well, what he does, he gets the ball in the half turn in an area of the pitch where them forwards can make their runs. We've seen it with Fellaini. As soon as Carrick got it for that first goal, he got on the shoulder. He knew Carrick was, after this first touch, took it to the side, he was going to play the ball forward. And it was a great way to pass. And, one thing you talk about Smalling, I think Smalling's been great today, by the way, defensively. Yeah. But Jones and Smalling, I don't believe, know how to the way to pass into players. And if you're going to build from the back, that's what you got to do. That's why Carrick drops in between the centre halves, and because he can not only pass the ball, but the way to pass. And that first goal shows how much influence Carrick has on this team.
But also such a passing range, Michael Carrick. What's interesting watching that first half, Robbie, is that they're almost playing it in a rugby style, using the kicking game to get the territory up to Fellaini. I mean, people have called it long ball. It's not really long ball, is it? They're using kicks for territory and then building in the United style from the advanced position.
The long balls to Fellaini have been limited, but what they've been is when they've pinged the ball to Fellaini, it's been to his chest where he can bring it down, then bring people into play. The corner, they look for Fellaini. He wins the first header, Carrick scores it. United have been really, really good today.
Well, David De Gea's only save at the half was from a back pass from Phil Jones, and United lead by 3-0 at the break. Second half on the way. Half-time at Goodison as well. Here's Will Perry.
Everton 1, Newcastle 0. James McCarthy's goal after 20 minutes, the difference at half-time. McCarthy allowed to run at the Newcastle goal. His shot just outside the box, completely wrong-footed Tim Krul, beating him to his left. Newcastle started well, though. Tim Howard kept out Gouffron from an early corner, and Williamson's follow-up was blocked in the 6-yard box. Everton, they're looking to move 6 points clear of the bottom 3. It would be their first league win at Goodison in 2015. Half-time, Everton 1, Newcastle 0.
Second half of that will be live on 5 Live Sports Extra. It's all over in Rome in the Six Nations. Here's Ian Carter.
Very one-sided in the end. France winning it by 29 points to 0. Just 2 tries. The first on 45 minutes from Johan Maestri, and then with the last move of the match, Bastereau was able to batter his way underneath the post. An easy conversion for Plisson, who kicked all of the rest of the points in the second half after France had led 9-0 thanks to 2 Lopez penalties and a Scott Spedding penalty as well. Italy were pretty hopeless, it has to be said. Nothing there to fear for the Welsh next week. As for France, with England coming up next week, well, it's difficult to gauge. Italy was so poor, but France certainly a much improved performance from last week. And in the end, they run out easy winners, 29-0.
Okay, 3 matches to go in the Six Nations. Italy-Wales at 12:30 next Saturday, followed by Scotland-Ireland at 2:30. England-France finishing the competition at 5 o'clock. 5 Live Sport will be all over it on Saturday afternoon. Into the First Utility Super League now, full-time at Salford. Dave Woods.
Salford have won. They've beaten Wakefield 24 points to 18. They move up to 6th in the table. It's still early days. A really good game. Rangi Chase try, eye-catching try 3 minutes after the break made it 18-6. It looked as though they might move away there, but Paul McShane with a good scurrying finish from dummy half brought Wakefield back in it, but Junior Sow finishing the 4th try. Salford hanging on a little bit at the end when Craig Hall got a score back for Wakefield from a Tim Smith grubber, but Salford hang on to win 24-18. And what about the other game? At one stage it was Hulkingston Rovers 4, Catalan 20. It's finished Hulkingston Rovers 50, Catalan 20. So it means the last 2 Catalan games there have been 150 points scored.
Value.
And they've conceded 90 and only scored 60. There's the problem.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much indeed. We'll hear from Ronald Koeman and Jose Mourinho in a few moments' time. It finished 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's lead, though, at the top of the table extending to 6 points. Here at Old Trafford, the Manchester United mascot, the Red Devil, in costume, in character, has just been trying to save penalties from some competitions winner. He now leaves the pitch wondering whether he's going to be brought on for the second half. United lead 3-0 against a pretty poor Tottenham Hotspur. Second half on the way after Laura Harm with the latest news.
On digital, online, smartphone and tablet. This is BBC 5 Live.
3 teenagers thought to be trying to join Islamic State militants in Syria have been arrested on suspicion of terrorism offences. The 2 17-year-olds and a 19-year-old were stopped in Turkey and were taken into custody after arriving back in the UK. Our reporter Selin Girit is in Istanbul.
Turkish officials apparently have been informed more quickly about the case of these missing boys, and they have taken the precautions and detained these boys and deported them. So this is a good sign on Turkish police that they are taking the precautions to stop the foreign jihadists.
Emergency aid has started arriving on the South Pacific islands of Vanuatu following Cyclone Pam. Tens of thousands of people are living in temporary shelters. George Osborne's defended his plans to allow millions more people to cash in their pensions. In Wednesday's budget, the Chancellor will say around 5 million people with existing annuities will be given the same rights to cash them in as those who've not yet started drawing their pensions. Steve Webb is the Lib Dem Pensions Minister.
Many people have a state pension, maybe a company pension, so their annuity might be only part of their income. They might have a spouse with other pensions as well. So why shouldn't they have the freedom, with the right guidance, to choose whether they want a bit of cash now instead of a relatively small income for the rest of their life?
At least 14 people have been killed and more than 70 are injured after attacks on 2 churches in the Pakistani city of Lahore. Bombers targeted the buildings during Sunday services. The US Secretary of State John Kerry says the international community will have to negotiate with Syria's President Assad at some point. He says America is pushing for talks to begin again after 2 previous attempts collapsed. And Nick Clegg has insisted the Liberal Democrats are here to stay and will do much better than anyone thinks in May's general election. In a speech in Liverpool, he urged party members to be proud of their record in coalition.
This is BBC 5 Live. On digital, online, smartphone and tablet.
The travel, just a few things to tell you about. On the M25 anti-clockwise in Essex, there are actually a couple of things causing problems there. Firstly, there's queuing traffic in a lane closure between junction 27 for the M11 and 26 Waltham Abbey. That's after an accident. All traffic was briefly held whilst the vehicle was removed from the central reservation. And also on the M25 anti-clockwise, another accident involving a lorry between junction 31, the Dartford River crossing, and 30 Lakeside means 3 lanes are closed and there are queues around there. And elsewhere in North Yorkshire, the A1M southbound near Harrogate has 2 lanes closed and delays between junction 47, Allerton Park, and 46 after an accident. Laura Harms, 5 Live Travel.
5 Live, where football lives, including the UEFA Champions League. Round of 16, second leg. Tuesday night, 7:45 kickoff. Monaco against Arsenal. The build-up starts in 5 Live Sport from 7. Then on Wednesday night, we'll be at the Nou Camp for Barcelona against Manchester City.
Oh, great save from Hart, and then Messi heads it wide of an open goal.
The best live sport is on 5 Live, where football lives.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Jonathan Overend.
Yes, 5 Live Sport from Barcelona Wednesday, Monaco Tuesday, and tomorrow night from Reading. Reading Bradford in the Cup quarter-final replay. You'll be able to hear Swansea Liverpool tomorrow night on 5 Live Sports Extra. Full time now in the League Cup, and will it be Rod Stewart or Deacon Blue holding over the trophies? Roddy Forsyth.
Oh, you're in my heart, you're in my soul, I think will be the theme that's going to be sung very shortly. Yes, it's Celtic. Green and white ribbons already on the trophy. Dundee United 0, Celtic 2. Dundee United reduced to 10 men 10 minutes after the interval when Dillon was sent off. By that point, they were already a goal down to a Chris Commons strike in the first half. Then James Forrest with 10 minutes to go, making it 2-0. Forrest brought down for a penalty kick with the dying seconds. He stepped up to take it, drove it straight at United goalkeeper. Still, Celtic had done enough there. One step into their quest for the treble. Dundee United 0, Celtic 2.
Everton ahead against Newcastle 1-0. James McCarthy. Manchester United 3-0 up on Spurs. Fellaini, Carrick and Rooney. Second half to come. Earlier, Southampton got a point at Stamford Bridge. 1-1 it finished. Chelsea's lead at the top of the table, 6 points. Southampton boss Ronald Koeman was pleased with how his side responded to going a goal down.
It's always difficult to get a good result against Chelsea. I think it was a little bit different the second half than the first. I think we had a fantastic reaction after the 1-0. He played great football. I think in the first 45 minutes we had the best chances to score. But the second half, more difficulties in keeping the ball in our ball position. Of course, Chelsea pressed much more than they did in the first half. And you know, to get a good result against Chelsea, you need some luck. You need a good defenders. You need a great goalkeeper. And we had that today.
Did you get a bit of luck with the penalty award?
No, I think it's a penalty. And I think the referee took a good decision at that moment.
You're still in there, right in this scrap for a top 4 place. Can you take it all the way to the end of the season?
No, we're not talking about top 4. We are talking about maybe the top 6. Because from now, the top 6 will play European football. And that will be fantastic for Southampton. And we do our best. We live game to game. We know it is very difficult because every team plays for something. Chelsea played for the champion. We played for a highest position. Next week is Burnley home. They beat Man City. And you have to be prepared for every game. And then we can finish on a high position.
So Ronald Koeman thought it was definitely a penalty. Wonder what Jose Mourinho thought.
The performance was good until the penalty. The performance was bad from the moment we conceded the goal until the end of the first half. And the performance was good again in the second half.
About the penalty?
About the penalty, my opinion is not important.
Could you give us it anyway?
No, my opinion is not important. It's the referee's decision, and the pundits and the specialists to comment. My opinion is not important.
I think the feeling was that he took the ball, but I don't want to put words in your mouth.
My feeling is that penalty for Chelsea, impossible. In our favour, impossible to be given. That's my clear feeling.
I know it was the game at Southampton earlier this season when you said you thought maybe there was a bit of a campaign. Is that something that those feelings are still there?
No, I said nothing about it.
Okay, that's Mourinho with Guy Mowbray there. Match of the day 2 tonight, 10:30 on BBC One, except in Scotland when it follows highlights of the League Cup final. They've got Sports Scene at 10:30. Match of the day 2 at 11:30 there. Ian Wright with Kelly Gates for 6:06 tonight afternoon. Ian,
how you doing, my man? What are you doing over? Is you cool?
Yeah, I'm very good,
nice,
very good.
Nice.
United have been good, haven't they?
They've been very, very good. I'm very disappointed with Spurs. I didn't expect that. They've been doing very well, coming off the back of 2 wins. Arsenal went up there the other day and beat them, and you know, I can't understand why Spurs have started so badly. You know, 9 minutes they were behind, in 19 minutes, no one picking up Michael Carrick, and then you see with Wayne Rooney, bad defending for me. They give the ball away, and then bad defending from Dyer. You know, somebody says he wants to play in the centre, he doesn't want to play at right back, and they've just started terribly. It's been a disaster for Spurs.
Okay.
Hello, Overs. Yeah, we're going to take the second half to try and work out if it's good for Manchester United or if it's so bad from Tottenham that are making it easy for them. Everton fans as well, we want to hear from you. 1-0 up, could be first win at home since mid-December. Southampton fans up to 6. Ronald Koeman says top 6 is what they're aiming for. But with 6 out of the 9 remaining fixtures against teams in the bottom half, the best defence in the league, Saints fans, what about top 4? Is it a possibility? The manager doesn't say so. We want to know if you do. Chelsea dropping points, still well clear at the top of the table though. Chelsea fans, are you still confident the title is yours? And reaction to Celtic's 15th Scottish League Cup win. Lines are on and open now, 0500 909 693 at BBC 606 on social media, or text us 85058.
Well, here at Old Trafford, Robbie and Alan both in that first half described it Manchester United's best half of the season.
Carrick to Fellaini into the penalty area. Here's a chance, left foot shot, 1-0. Low pass Lloris to his left, and Fellaini has put Manchester United in front. Mata from the left, plays the corner in left footed, deep for Fellaini. Fellaini jumps, heads it down. Carrick is headed in. Carrick was allowed a free header, and after just 18 minutes, United are clear. Rooney is the ball, surrounded by white shirts. He's still going forward. This could be 3-0, and it is 3-0. Wayne Rooney. United are demolishing Spurs. It's United 3, Spurs 0.
And here is the second half, live at Old Trafford on 5 Live Sport. Alan.
Just underway, no further changes in the Tottenham team, which is as follows: goalkeeper Lloris, defenders Walker, Dyer, Vertonghen and Rose. It's unfortunate to be called Dyer, certainly in that first 45 minutes. Then in midfield, Mason, Bentaleb. Tottenham on the attack at the moment, but it breaks down as Rose doesn't cross it to any great effect at all. Then 3 across midfield, Chadley, Dembele and Eriksen. Dembele replaced Townsend in the first half after 30 minutes, and then Kane up front. Can't remember him having a proper kick at the ball. Manchester United's goalkeeper is De Gea, who hasn't had anything to do. Defenders Valencia, Jones, Smalling and Blint. Then Herrera, Carrick and Fellaini, Mata, Young and Rooney. Manchester United attacking the Stretford end in the second half in their red shirts and white shorts. Tottenham is defending the right word, Robbie, defending the Stretford end.
I've just seen the first goal again, and Kyle Walker's first thought was to go and close Ashley Young down. Carrick was on the ball.
And here's Chadley trying to get away from Jones. Jones just stretched, probably in a little bit of pain having made the stretch, but he puts the ball out of play for a throw-in.
Now listen to Righty there about Dyer wanting to play centre half, and the communication with Dyer and Walker for that first goal was absolutely shocking. It was, Walker's got to, tuck in alongside Dyer to not allow Fellaini to enter that space. So yeah, defensively they've been all over the place, Spurs.
Roy Hodgson, the England coach, is in the director's box here at Old Trafford to name a squad of 28 on Thursday for the forthcoming European qualifier against Lithuania at Wembley, and then the friendly against Italy in Turin that will follow. And some of these Tottenham players will be worried that, having promised to be in that England squad, they just haven't delivered today in front of the coach. Here's Rhodes, one of them, on the far side of the field, crossing low to the edge of the penalty. Dembele shoots. Wow, very high. Goal kick.
Oh, technique, and Dembele, you watch him, when he plays, he's got great technique, he's got great balance, but there, it was none of them. He was off balance, he was leaning back, he was trying to twist on the ball and shoot in one motion, miles over the bar, but Spurs just need to improve in the second half.
Well, they can't feel to improve, Robbie. They were that bad in the first.
But I think United were that good as well, to be fair. I heard Kelly say, was it Spurs really bad or United very good? I think it was both.
Here's Rooney finding Fellaini, who had an excellent first half. Fellaini, though, in trying to find Herrera, only found Eriksen instead, and now it's with Vertonghen for Tottenham Hotspur, who came here thinking, well, we've won here the last 2 seasons. If we make it 3 wins in succession, we'll be level on points with Manchester United, are really pressing for a position in the top 4. It ain't worked out.
Well, we hear about Arsenal against last year against the top teams, getting absolutely hammered, and Spurs, they could, if United want to put the pedal down here, they can go and get 5 and 6 against this team.
Herrera looking for Rooney. Rooney heads it down, and then it fell to Rooney again off Vertonghen. He tried the volley, but it's high and wide. It's a goal kick. He was trying to bring Fellaini into play, and it was good unselfish work from the United captain.
Well, he pulled in between, it was Walker and Dyer, and tried to nod the ball into Fellaini's path, and if he got there, he would have been through on goal again. It's just from a throw-in as well, that from a United throw-in. Valencia to Herrera, one ball to Rooney's head, cutting open this Spurs back four.
Tottenham play it upfield, but it's bouncing harmlessly through to De Gea, whose only action in the first half was to deal with a couple of passes back in his direction. One from Jones was
I think that's awful. Spurs' only shot on target was Jones's pass back to De Gea. That if he didn't intercept, it would have gone in the net. So that's what Spurs' only shot on target, a pass back from Jones.
Dembele's gone down in the centre circle, injured. I think he's just winded, and he is. He's getting to his feet. Play'd been held up, so bounce ball, and then presumably back into Tottenham's possession.
The race for the top four. So, before this game, we're thinking United could finish fifth or even out the top four. In this performance, they could arguably finish second.
yes, you're absolutely right. They defeated Burnley from Manchester City last night. Arsenal's win earlier in the day. It's tight there, second, third and fourth, and Liverpool will make it tighter still if they win tomorrow night at Swansea. But as you rightly said, Robbie, that's not an easy place to go to and emerge with all 3 points. Here's Dembele for Spurs, who at least have started the second half on the front foot. Mason to Eriksson. Eriksson back to Bentaleb, and Bentaleb swings it to the near side of Walker. Walker on to Chadley. Walker runs forward. Chadley's pass was so telegraphed, Blint couldn't help but intervene. Now it's with Rooney. Rooney tackles, fairly challenged, ball squirts out of play, and it's a throw into Spurs.
Yeah, Chadley there. Walker's made a great run. And the pass is so poor. He's read it like a book. He's just cut inside, cut the pass out. It's poor from Chadley. He just needs another gear, Chadley. You don't know what gear he's in. He looks like he plays in third gear. You want to see him in fourth and fifth.
Here's Chadley into Mason, and Mason back to Vertonghen. Vertonghen's inside the Tottenham half. He's in to the centre circle now. Finds Mason again. Pochettino will have laid into his players at half time. Really, they came here off the back of a couple of good wins, and you thought, well, they're well capable of making life very difficult for Manchester United, but so far not at all. Here's Fellaini. Fellaini to Smalling. Smalling's had Harry Kane in his pocket in the game so far. Now it's back from Valencia to Smalling once more, and on to Carrick. Wide to Valencia. Manchester United looked such a better team with Michael Carrick's in it. Smalling on the far side to Herrera. Herrera just outside the penalty area for Manchester United. On to Jones. Blint operating at left back today, as he did for Holland in the World Cup. Plays it back to Jones, and now to De Gea, who's having his cushiest afternoon of the season so far. De Gea out to Herrera. Herrera under just a little bit of pressure, but it shows the increasing confidence of Manchester United, the way they played that ball out of defence. Blint towards the halfway line. To Fellaini. Good work by Mason to intercept the pass that was destined for the Belgian, and now it's inside the Manchester United half. Jones is there. Jones plays it back carefully away from Dembele, and now De Gea with the clearance, leaning back, right-footed, high towards Fellaini, who wins it in the air, and his header almost found Rooney. Walker for Tottenham. Far too casual. Manchester United get the ball back. 7.5 minutes gone in the second half. Blint into Rooney. Blint again. Rooney once more. And Rooney stepping away from Dyer. Hits a crossfield ball to the far side to Mata. Brings it under control quickly. Valencia to his right. And it's tapped to Valencia. Valencia level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area now. United attacking the Stretford end. Now it's with Herrera. On to Valencia. Valencia, there's the cross. Fellaini's there. Not defended well. Rooney back to Blint. Blint tries to pass the ball into the net. Blocked by the defender. Still inside that penalty area though. They haven't cleared it. Valencia now goes to the right side. Hampered by Rose. And Rose makes the clearance towards Harry Kane, who loses the ball to Michael Carrick. Carrick puts it forward. Mata brings it under control instantly, crosses deep, looking for Young, headed away by Walker. It won't take much for Spurs to concede another goal here, Robbie.
No,
it just won't take much.
Just couldn't understand why Fellaini didn't attack that ball. It was a great cross into the box. It was there for Fellaini to attack. He just seemed to, just leave it. But, what a chance for United to go and make a real statement. Go and win the game by 4 or 5.
Here's Harry Kane, hitting it to the left side. And it's in. And now Mason running forward. Mason with a chance to shoot it goal. Shoots wide.
Yeah, it was great skill from Mason. He's got into a great area. He's drove it. I think it was Carrick, went to shoot with his left, brought it back onto his right, and then tried to give the keeper the eyes, and put it past the post. But, still not a shot on target, but much better from Spurs.
No, he hasn't had a save to make there, or not from an opponent, at least. Goal kick to United. Manchester United 3, Spurs 0. It's Everton 1, Newcastle 0 at Goodison Park. And the other 4 o'clock kick-off of the Barclays Premier League. And you can hear commentary on that game if you want to switch. Ian Brown and Trevor Sinclair on 5 Live Sports Extra. Valencia for the home side. 20 yards short of the halfway line. Passes back, a rather more measured pass than the one he delivered back in De Gea's general direction in the FA Cup tie against Arsenal. De Gea clears. Fellaini jumps, does enough to put off the defender. Ball breaks to Rooney. Rooney then tackled by Danny Rose. Rose wins out, finds Mason, and now Eriksson. Back to Dyer and to Walker, the right full back for Tottenham. Measured pass down the right side to Dembele. There's a penalty at Goodison. Will Perry.
It's a penalty to Everton as well. Gouffran taking down Aaron Lennon, and Romelu Lukaku has the ball on the spot here for Everton. Martin Atkinson just clearing Fabrizio Colaccini out of the penalty area. Lukaku looking for his 17th goal of the season, and what a goal this would be for Everton, who would have a bit of breathing space, wouldn't they, between them and Burnley. Up steps Lukaku into the bottom right corner. Tim Krul rooted, and Everton lead Newcastle by 2-0.
Reminder that the lines are open for 606 with Kelly Cates and Ian Wright. 0500 909 693. Have United just eased off a little bit?
Yeah, I think they have. I think Spurs are playing with more intensity. They're closing the ball down high up the park, and they're getting closer to United.
Dembele wants the ball, and Mason gives it to him. And then he's being harassed by Fellaini, but he holds him off. Back to Bentaleb. And now Eriksson, he's been a huge disappointment in the game. Such a key player for Tottenham this season. But it's on now to the far side, and the left full-back Rose, who is deep inside the United half. The ball played backwards though by Tottenham towards the halfway line in the centre circle. Here's Harry Kane. Kane forward now. Dembele just outside the penalty area, and in trying to keep the ball, he's adjudged to have fouled Jones, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, but he should have played the ball out wide to Kyle Walker. He's but is that a sign that from Dembele, I'm not going to give the ball to you, Kyle Walker, because you keep giving it to the opposition or miscontrol? Now, look, if I was Pochettino, I'd just make a point, and I'd take Walker off and put Ben Davies on the right back, because he's been that poor, Walker.
Well, it's not that long ago that Walker was, quote, seen as the #1 right back for England.
Yeah, I just think they've been sloppy in their play. It's maybe unfair to single Kyle Walker out, but he's played for England.
No, I think you're right. You're absolutely right, Robbie. It's just the way things go.
But the criticism's got to be there. We're only watching this game today, and he's been so poor in and out of possession, defensively with the ball. He's a good player. They're all good players on this football pitch. You just can't understand how lack of desire and how sloppy they've been today, Spurs. But let's take nothing away from Manchester United. They have been absolutely fantastic.
Flint, the left back for Manchester United. 13 minutes into the second half. For the throw-in to Ashley Young. Back to Chris Smalling. Smalling's had a really fine game against Kane. Valencia. On to Mata. Mata being hustled by Rose. Rose wins it. Tottenham have the ball back. Bentaleb. Being hustled. And almost lost the ball there. Wasn't Bentaleb, what I'm talking about. Chadley switched flanks again.
I think about Chris Smalling. If you say to him, play like you played today, but as soon as you get the ball, give it to Carrick 5 yards away from you, he could be a very good player. He's defended so well. He's been tight to Kane. He's not given him a chance winning the ball in front. But if you say to him, when you get the ball, don't try and pass it 30, 40 yards. Just give it the nearest red shirt. He could become a very good player.
Here's Mason to Chadley. Back to Mason again on the far side of the field. That's the Tottenham left. But the example of the first half, this has been sluggish in the second period. United 3-0 up, coasting, or at the moment coasting. Dembele onto Rose. Kane delays his run into the penalty area. Rose on the far side, the left. Now Kane's lurking around the penalty spot. The cross too deep, straight into the hands of De Gea.
Yeah, you got.
Right, there's been a red card at Goodison. Will Perry.
There has been. It's still Everton 2, Newcastle 0, but Newcastle down to 10 men. Their captain Fabrizio Colaccini shown a straight red card by referee Martin Atkinson. Just looking at a replay now, Colaccini diving in on Aaron Lennon, really dangerous, and Atkinson showing him a straight red. Everton 2, Newcastle 0.
Well, for Walker's sake, I'm glad I wasn't commentating in that. I mean, Robbie's running down this near touchline, and his technique was so poor, he passed the ball out of play.
Yeah, he's trying to drive at Blint, but you know, he tried to chase his own pass, but he kicked the ball out. That's how bad he's been today.
Tottenham have the ball to no great effect. Bentaleb to Mason. Mason got caught by Fellaini just about 30 seconds ago, and he's hobbling at the moment. Mark Clattenburg, referee, had a word with Fellaini. It wasn't a foul tackle, but he was caught. Now Valencia hustling Rose on the far side. Rose did well, played along the left touchline. Tottenham though still without a shot at De Gea's goal, at least on target.
In the final third they've created absolutely nothing. Full-backs are not all overlapped. The quality of balls into the box, I think there's been 3 have been very poor to De Gea. Harry Kane's not had a kick off Smalling and Jones. No runners from midfield. Eriksen's not had a touch, but United have been superb.
You know, Harry Kane has been so quiet today. If you're watching him for the first time, you say, well, what's the big deal about him? But the truth is, he's been generally sensational this season.
But the balls up to him have been poor. They've been chest high, head high, and Smalling's is physically bigger than him. He's winning the ball in front, winning over the top of him.
Good run by Mata. Infield, good tackle though by Rose. No, it wasn't a good tackle. The referee was waiting as the ball squirted away to see if it fell to a United player to allow the advantage to be United's. It wasn't, so he's given the free kick.
I thought it was a very good tackle from Rose. But you know, there's the problem there. You've got Bentaleb and Mason in a holding midfield role. They advance the ball. Mata drives inside. You know, it's Rose who had to follow him. There's where Mason and Bentaleb should be. He should be driving into where they are, but they're too forward of the ball, too many gaps, too open, and United's exploiting it.
Tottenham poised to make another change. Lamela might be coming on. Here's Blint. Blint into the penalty area, but the pass was ahead of Pereira, and it's through to Lloris. 16 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live on the BBC. Manchester United 3, Tottenham 0. In our other featured commentary game on 5 Live Sports Extra, it's 2-0 to Everton against Newcastle, and Colaccini has been shown a straight red card, so Newcastle down to 10 men. Word is, probably unfair, I don't know, that Newcastle just now play out the season. Somewhere in mid-table, take the Premier League money next season. Not what their fans want. Here's Ashley Young, one of those providing much more of what Manchester United fans want this day, this Sunday. He's won a corner, he's done really well.
Yeah, he's driving at Kyle Walker, he's got the beating of him. There, Chadley's trying to double up on him, but he wins a corner for his team. I think Ashley Young's been a very positive player for Manchester United this season when he's been fit.
And again, as Mata takes the corner, the United fans stand to applaud him. They rate him. Oh, goodness great. Ashley Young completely unmarked as the ball was played in by Mata, but Young took his eye off the ball and it was cleared by Spurs into the United half.
What a chance there. You got 6 or 7 Spurs players not even looking at the corner, taking Mata. Young's in acres of space. Bad first touch. If he'd have touched it, got out his feet, he'd have a free shot on goal inside the area.
Cleared upfield by De Gea. Vertonghen's arm was being wrenched by Fellaini, but no free kick awarded. Spurs have the ball with Harry Kane. Harry Kane, 2 red shirts in attendance. No option but to pass the ball backwards towards the halfway line. Lamela's coming on. Can't see it making a great deal of difference. Eriksen has been so quiet. Here's Walker to the said Eriksen. back to Walker again. And he just played the ball into the right leg of Blue. It's out for a throw-in, and it's Mason who's coming off. So it is an attacking change for Tottenham.
Yeah, Lamela, who hasn't performed that well this season. Yeah, he scored a fantastic goal in the Europa League, the Rabona, but that's a very rare bright spot in his season so far.
So he's on, and who's going to be affected by this change?
Well, Dembele now will go alongside Bentaleb, and looks like Lamela will come onto this right-hand side.
Throw into Tottenham. Taken by Walker, and it ends up with Lamela. Back to Walker again. Rose is available on the far side, and good vision by Walker to pick him out. Good control by Rose as well. Rose crosses into the penalty area, and it was just the left leg of Smalling to further the ball away to safety for Manchester United. Here's Mata, heading it towards the left side. What a great ball. Rooney keeps it in play. I think it was initially aimed for Young, but Rooney flicks it towards Fellaini, chested down the penalty area. Fellaini didn't smash a shot at goal, just keeps it in United's possession. It's with Herrera on the far side of the field. Back to Mata. Herrera once more. Valencia infield. 20 minutes played in the second half. Manchester United lead by the same scoreline they had at half-time, 3-0. Jones to Blint, and Blint level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. Swings the cross in left-footed. Fellaini was there, half cleared. Herrera shoots into the side netting.
Yeah. Great passage of play from Manchester United, but that's what Manchester United players should be doing. First it was Mata, who's hit a 50-yard crossfield ball to Rooney, who's then touched it onto his chest and outside of his foot to Fellaini. That's what United players are all about, taking chances, taking risks, doing things different. That ball from Rooney, outside of his foot to Fellaini, was brilliant. There was Herrera into the side netting, but it's much, much better today from Manchester United. I actually seen the lady downstairs in the press room who said to me, I'll have to write nice things about Manchester United after this performance, and I will, because you can only write what you see, and this season they haven't been good enough.
Indeed, but they've been far, far better today. By the way, Newcastle still have very important games to come. They've yet to play Arsenal, Liverpool, and then at the other end of the table, Sunderland, Leicester and Queen's Park Rangers. So, perversely, they can still have a big impact. They're safe, but they can have a big impact on the fortunes of other sides. Dembele to Eriksson, Lamela, Eriksson again, and on it goes to Chadley, and a bit of a nudge from Blint, and Mark Clattenburg awards a free kick to Tottenham.
Blint in that left back position before the game, Townsend had a chance and Walker had a chance to get him. Townsend was substituted after 30 minutes. Kyle Walker's been awful. And that for me was a real chance for Spurs down United's left hand side.
Almost 22 minutes played in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live. United 3, Spurs 0. Eriksson's free kick into the penalty area. Smalling heads it clear, and then a shot driven in by Walker, hits another defender, I think, and then Blint. I think he was trying to curl that ball back towards the penalty area, or away from the penalty area, but instead it's out of play for a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur, close to the corner flag. Lamela to take it. Spurs fans have been very quiet, apart from that very early rendition about Harry Kane. They've had nothing to shout about. Such a disappointing performance by Tottenham Hotspur. Here's Vertonghen to Dyer, and Dyer to Walker. Walker slides it on, and Dembele has it, but he's tackled by Fellaini, and the ball breaks to Carrick. Good ball by Carrick.
His first thought was forward. He could have gone sideways or back the goalkeeper. He's got on the half turn. He slid the ball into Herrera. Fantastic from Carrick.
Yep, absolutely. Such a difference in a simple way, Robbie.
Yep.
He's instead of passing sideways or backwards, he's looking for the forward pass. And as a consequence, his colleagues are running into space to receive that.
Yeah,
pass.
I was with Ian Wright, who'd be on 606 late yesterday, and saying that for the forward, you want your midfield player to look up and play the ball forward as early as possible. Wonder what Wright will think about Carrick's performance on 606 later, or 500-693.
Here's Smalling and Smalling's performance.
Yeah.
Smalling finds Valencia in the far side of the field. To Mata, just over the halfway line, right in the centre circle. Drills it towards the United left, towards Young. Half cleared, picked up by Blint initially, and then Fellaini. Really good performance by Fellaini. To Young. Young back to Fellaini, halfway inside the Tottenham half. And it goes to Herrera. There's fluidity about United's display. onto Young, left of the penalty area, crossed in towards the near post, towards Fellaini, and then Rose, obviously not getting a call from his goalkeeper, heads up behind for a corner.
What United have done today and what the players have done is they've taken chances, they've been brave, they've tried things, and this Manchester United team all season, I think, have been too pedestrian and not tried extraordinary things. And we've seen the United team today try little things, try little flicks, and it's been, you know, the difference in performance today has been incredible, really.
Young, the cross on the right. I think there were signs in the FA Cup today. They did play better against Arsenal, but ultimately they lost. They've moved on. Well done. Young from the right, both arms aloft. That's the signal. Played in very deep. Fellaini, the target, heads it down before it reaches Rooney. It's smacked clear, but there must have been an infringement. There's a free kick to Tottenham.
Yeah, the ball, you know, the corner from Young went out of play, then come back in. So, you know, it was a poor corner from Young, but they hit that man Fellaini again, who won the header, but come to nothing as the ball went out from the corner.
The attendance 75,112 at Old Trafford. Biggest crowd in the country. Kane finding Rose. Rose is halfway inside United territory. Taps the pass to Eriksson. 20 minutes to go. And now Dyer. It's not his fault, but it's a shame he has that name, because when he does have a bad game, you know. And now Dembele to Rose. Dyer retreats towards a defensive position. Dembele again. Dembele faced by Herrera. Slides the pass to Rose on the far side, the left for Tottenham. And on now to Harry Kane, just outside the penalty. Kane trying to take on Smalling, who's being helped out by Herrera. Herrera does well. Clears it to Mata on the far side of the field. Now Young sprinting forward down the left side. Passes shorter to Rooney initially. Rooney pays it back to his left full-back Glint today. On the halfway line, the Dutchman. And now by Carrick onto Fellaini. Fellaini waited. Bentaleb didn't. Bentaleb stood in front of him, then Bentaleb gives the ball away. Smalling strides forward into the centre circle. Finds Juan Mata again. Young's completely unmarked down the left side. And Mata sees him but doesn't get the pass right. That's a rare miss-hit pass from Juan Mata inside of play for a throw-in.
But again, Herrera, you know, you got Smalling, tight and Harry Kane. The ball's played into him. Herrera's nicking the ball off him in front. So what chance has Harry Kane got today? That's something that Bentaleb and Dembele and Mason didn't do with Wayne Rooney. Try and nick the ball in front of him when he was tightly marked. So it's been a complete and utter, you know, domination of midfield play from Carrick and Herrera against Bentaleb and Mason, the inexperienced duo.
Well, I'll be working at Manchester United's next two games at Old Trafford, the game against Villa and the game against Manchester City. Be interesting to see if they keep this form going forward in the pursuit of a top four place. They've got a free kick now on the far side of the field for a foul on Herrera. And is that a yellow card? Yeah, a yellow card for Danny Rose.
Yeah, people talk about him being the best left back in the country at the minute. You know, he's miles off that. There, he's charged out to Herrera, who's not going anywhere, and he's just dived in. Herrera's using experience. He's nicked the ball past Rolls, who's committed a ridiculous foul and gone into the referee's notebook, and rightly so. Stupid challenge in a dangerous area.
But it's better than the corner, this one. It is still very wide, and Fellaini is the obvious target in the penalty area, but Carrick's there as well. It's swung in deep, looking for the Belgian. It's headed up by Dyer. He gets a second chance to head the ball clear, heads it out of his penalty area, headed back by Carrick towards Blint on the near side of the field, but it bounces out of play and it'll be a throw in to Tottenham.
Every set piece they look for Fellaini. They put a high floaty ball into an area where he can attack, and you know, he didn't quite win that one, but all afternoon in the high aerial balls, he's won most of them. It's been a real good game for Marouane Fellaini.
18 minutes to go, still 3-0 to Manchester United, as it was at half-time. Don't forget the lines are open for 606. Kelly Cates and Ian Wright, 0500 909 693. It's always the same, Robbie, or at least I feel it's always the same, you know, when one side so dominates the first half, has a grip in the game that you know they will not lose. Is it psychological?
You see Aston Villa yesterday, you know, that first half 4-0 up at Sunderland.
That's right.
You know, second half I was up, played for Leicester at Derby once, 4-0 half time, second half, you know the game is won, but I think the top teams go and put their foot down. I remember it Brian Clough used to say, if you're 3 or 4 up, go and get 5 and 6, and that's what the top teams do. And what a statement would have been from United. I think a statement is 3-0, but if you can go and get 4 and 5.
Well, goal difference might be very important come the end of the season in terms of the top 4. Very important. Now there's a throw into Manchester United on the halfway line, on the far side, their right, and it's with Valencia, and he throws to Carrick, who'd made the movement, and then Carrick wins another throw in, knocking it off a Spurs player. Valencia just has to retreat a couple of yards. So much better in so many regards for Manchester United today. Very encouraging for their fans. But even though they've been happy enough with the league placing, they haven't been happy with the way Manchester United have been playing, the style with which they've been playing. But there are no complaints today.
If they can finish in the top 4 and play like this on a regular basis, I think, this season, if they can play like this at the end of the season, I think they will finish top 4.
Carrick looking for Herrera, he's offside. Again, that frustration for everybody. But the linesman waited, and finally Herrera gets the ball, and then he raises the flag.
Yeah, but the fluidity in their play. It's Herrera who runs from a deep line midfield. He just went a bit too soon. Always the pass delay from Carrick, but again, the Spurs back 4 all over the place. I think we're going to see young Pereira coming on for Manchester United here, Alan, who I've watched a lot in the 21s. Yeah,
tell me about him, because I don't know.
Yeah, he's a very good player, good technique. Very good on the ball.
Walker just took out Young there, and he's going to be booked. Surely. Mark Clattenburg saying to Ashley Young, it's okay, I'm in charge of this. Is he not going to book him? It's certainly a lengthy kicking off. No, he's no yellow card. It's a free kick, without question. Well, coming up this week on 5 Live in terms of football coverage of the Champions League, I'll be in Monaco. Monaco-Arsenal. Arsenal 3-1 down. The temptation is to think they haven't got any chance, but who knows with Arsenal? They've certainly got the attacking riches, and that's on Tuesday night. And then the following night, I think it's John Murray who's in Spain for Barcelona against Manchester City. City 2-1 down at the end of the first leg. Here's Herrera shooting from about 25 yards, just wide. Let's get an update from Goodison Park. Will Perry.
It's still Everton 2, Newcastle 0. James McCarthy putting Everton ahead in the first half. Romelu Lukaku scored Everton's second from the penalty spot. Fabrizio Collicini, though, showing a straight red card in this second half, so Newcastle down to 10. Tim Krul's pulled off 2 excellent saves to deny Leon Osman and Ross Barkley in the last couple of minutes. It's Everton 2, Newcastle 0.
And here comes a proud moment for Pereira. Coming on at Old Trafford, no pressure on the kid. He's replacing Mata.
Yeah, he's got good technique, he's got quick feet. I wouldn't say he's physically the biggest or strongest, but what a great thing to come on here, 75,000, replacing Juan Mata. And what you'll see Van Gaal will do, he'll give youth a chance. You've seen it with Blackett and McNair this season. Chance for Pereira.
Great applause for Juan Mata.
Yeah, played well today.
I'm with United fans here. I think he really is a terrific player, and I don't think he's had the best deal from Louis Van Gaal. But he's the coach. He makes the decisions.
Yeah, he's made a real statement today. Matty played on that right-hand side, but he kept coming inside and linking play. He showed good energy as well. He hasn't got great pace, but some of his movements, some of his one-touch passing was brilliant.
Throwing to Spurs on the far side of the field. Rose to take it. Mata puts on a tracksuit top and makes his way towards the dressing room. Maybe he's picked up a bit of a knock. I don't know.
I think we'll see Adebayor as well at some point this afternoon. He's putting his shirt on down there in the dugout. You're going to bring Adebayor.
Well, do you hear the applause around Old Trafford? That's what the Manchester United supporters think of the Spaniard. That's true. And it's all 4 sides of the ground. Not just at the Stretford end where he's walking towards now. He's a really good player. I don't think it's gone the way he wanted it to when he came to Old Trafford. Not quite as much, but still good. Here's Pereira, who's replaced him. Back with Carrick. On to Young on the near side. Blint racing to Young's left, and it's played to Daley Blint. Intercepted though by Walker. And anyway, the flag's up for offside against the Dutchman, and it's a free kick. And here's somebody I hardly recognise. Adebayor coming on for Tottenham. For Chadley.
Yeah, but obviously they're not going to get back into the game. It's just, 10 or so minutes for Adebayor to have a run around and, link up with Harry Kane and just try and get a consolation goal.
That's all it would be now. 3-0 down, 12 minutes to go. Here is Adebayor, and it's a glancing header on from the Tottenham striker. But it's cleared by Manchester United, goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United. Blint to take it. Manchester United 3, Spurs 0 at Goodison. Everton 2, Newcastle 0. Colaccini sent off after Everton took a 2-0 lead there. So they're the Barclays Premier League games. 4 o'clock kickoffs this Sunday afternoon. And earlier, Chelsea 1, Southampton 1. Chelsea 6 points clear at the top of the league, and with a game in hand of Manchester City, who are their closest pursuers. But may not be for that much longer. We'll see what Arsenal, Manchester United and Liverpool could do about that. Liverpool play at Swansea tomorrow night to keep the pressure on, in particular, Manchester United. Bentaleb drives it towards Adebayor, headed away by Valencia. Kane couldn't get his foot properly in the ball, half cleared. Taken up by Dembele. On to Kane again, a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Kane looks tired. And frustrated. Nothing's gone for him today, nothing. Now Walker down the right side for Spurs. Back to Bentaleb, 40 yards from goal. Swings the cross in, easily headed away by Manchester United Smalling. And now on the far side of the field, Pereira, still inside his own half. Lays it back to Valencia. Was the kindest of passes to the fullback, but he finds his goalkeeper De Gea, who swings it upfield. Taken down off the chest by Fellaini, but he loses the ball to Lamela. Ericsson, Lamela again, inside the final 10 minutes. 0500 909 693 is the number for 606 for Kelly Cates and Ian Wright, which will follow the conclusion to this commentary. Bentaleb for Tottenham again. Finds Rose on the far side of the field. Good control by the left back. There's the cross into the penalty. Bounces a long way, reaches Ericsson. Ericsson on the edge of the penalty area. Faced by red shirts, finds Walker, low cross into the box. Initially wasn't dealt with particularly well by the United defence, but it runs to safety on the far side. Pereira hits it upfield. Almost reached Rooney, headed away by Vertonghen. Fellaini though, from the clearance, on to Rooney, asking an awful lot of Rooney, keeps it in play, the captain. Scorer of a goal today, the third for Manchester United. Now just on the edge of the Spurs penalty area. Stretford end of Old Trafford, back to Herrera. Young with Blint running to his left. There's a swagger about Young's touches today. It's as if I'm really confident now.
He got his first goal of the season at Newcastle, didn't he?
Yes.
The winning goal
Very important goal.
Where United were the second best all night. But that just how crucial that goal could be, that performance, that goal from Young up at St James's Park.
Yeah, the way things are going to stand at the top of the Barclays Premier League tonight as... Who's this coming on? Falcao. Do you know anything about him? He's usually a substitute for Manchester United, but he's coming on. The way it'll stand at the top of the Barclays Premier League tonight. Chelsea top. Played 28, 64 points. 66 points clear of Manchester City, who played a game more. And then Arsenal, a point behind Manchester City, and Manchester United, a point behind Arsenal. It's Chelsea's title, barring a disastrous show, which ain't gonna happen. Now, Falcao coming on for Fellaini. And applause for both players, because Fellaini's contribution has been excellent today, and I think there's also a sympathy vote for Falcao.
I think Fellaini's been absolutely brilliant today for Manchester United. He scored the first goal on hand in the second. Massive stand ovation, and a great ovation for Falcao coming on. Rooney will just drop a bit deeper now, let Falcao play up there. I think Rooney will go in the 4 behind Falcao.
He's done that. It would, just for his sake, be nice to see some decent service to Falcao. To allow him to show English football, not just Manchester United, but English football, what he is capable of. Here's Vertonghen. Only half challenged by Falcao. Vertonghen on to Rose on the far side of the field. 7 minutes to go. Foul tackle by Pereira, the kid, on Danny Rose, and Mark Clattenburg. That's good refereeing. He doesn't want to produce a yellow card for Pereira. He just wants to say, look, hey, no, don't do it. Is there anybody better than Clattenburg? I don't think so. And Robbie's having to think hard about it. There's the Spurs free kick just beyond Adebayor. Cleared by Manchester United. Here's Rose again. Eriksson available on the far side. Eriksson takes it and does well. Finds Adebayor. Adebayor being hustled by Smalling. Adebayor still has the ball. In it goes the pass to Bentaleb. Bentaleb runs forward. Might lose it. No. Taken up by Eriksson. Eriksson into the penalty area. Opportunity for Tottenham. There's the ball back towards Harry Kane. And typically headed behind by, guess who? Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
6 yards from the goal line in his own penalty area.
Yeah, great from the captain there. Dropped deeper into that midfield role and put the ball out for the Spurs corner.
Kane to take the corner from the right, front of the Tottenham fans. Well, it was headed up in the air by Valencia. Goodness, was that normal off there by Rooney? But there were no appeals from Tottenham players, so I've obviously got that wrong. Cross swung in by Kane again. Rooney heads it away, definitely this time. Vertonghen heads it to Eriksson. Eriksson struggling to keep it. Helped out by Vertonghen. Vertonghen struggling to keep the ball in play, doesn't do so, and it's a throw-in to Manchester United.
I thought Rooney was quite lucky there. He jumped up, with his arm high in the air. I think he was lucky the ball actually hit him on the shoulder, but his arm was raised and a bit lucky there to get away with that. But the position of his arm was a strange position, but
it was a boxing pose. Must have been another boxing pose. I will stop the joke.
Going back to the referees, I thought Michael Oliver
he's good
in the game here. I thought was brilliant, but then you got to say didn't give that penalty yesterday for on Zabaleta of Burnley, which he let himself down yesterday. Cause I thought that was a penalty.
Yep, and wasn't there a penalty incident in the cup tie as well that he didn't give? I can't remember, but he is a good referee, and obviously he's young and still learning. The two of them together are.
There was a couple. There was one, Januzaj, who went down the right hand side and went to ground too easy. I think he got that one right. And was there one on Danny Welbeck as well, which he got right?
Yep.
I thought midweek he had an exceptional game, but then he could have given that penalty for Zabaleta yesterday at Burnley. The tackle from me. So Michael Oliver, I think all the good referees have got a big mistake in them. Yeah. Looking at this season.
Yeah. Or it could be, Robbie, that it's not your fault. It's not my fault, but there is such intense scrutiny of every single refereeing decision, and we can look at a replay, even here, tiny monitors at Old Trafford, and within seconds we can make a judgment. They don't have that opportunity. Here's a good cross in towards Adebayor, who's offside. They don't have that opportunity, though. I still think it beggars belief that video technology isn't employed to help them. Here's Raphael, another forgotten man at Old Trafford, but I think this substitution is as much to say thank you to Michael Carrick for an outstanding display.
Yeah.
He's the man who's being replaced.
Been a difference today. His forward thinking, his forward passing, front foot, way to pass. He set up the first for Fellaini, got his goal with a header from by 12 yards, the penalty spot. Very, very good afternoon for Michael Carrick, who would be one of the first names on this Manchester United team sheet if he's fit.
Now, Raphael is operating at left back rather than his regular position at right back. We've only got 3 minutes plus added time to go here on 5 Live. A reminder of that number for 606 0500 909 693. Falcao jumps with Vertonghen. Vertonghen won that, but the ball fell to a Manchester United shirt, and then Falcao fouls Vertonghen. Free kick to Spurs.
Yeah, Blitton will just go where Carrick was, is that one in midfield with a forward in front of him, but Blint's done okay at left back today. I don't think he's a centre midfielder. That's the big question with Blint. I just think he slows Manchester United down in that central area, playing sideways, backwards. You see the difference when Carrick goes in there, the way he first and foremost thinks forward.
I agree with you. It's just that De Gaulle, with the experience of being in charge of the Dutch, he played Blint in various positions and he never came up short. Here's Eriksson. Eriksson hoped to shoot goalwards, but the ball wouldn't get down quickly enough, and it's partly cleared by Manchester United. Dembele, though, to Rose on the far side of the field. Adebayor, furthest forward for Tottenham. cross swung in his direction. Goodness gracious, Jones went to meet it, missed it completely, and it's out of play for a throw into Manchester United.
Yeah, the spine of the United team today. Smalling doesn't give Kane a kick. Carrick was brilliant, and Wayne Rooney, the captain's performance. So the spine of the team for United today. De Gea not tested one whatsoever. Spurs no shot on target. As good as United have been, Spurs have been that bad.
Yeah, this does not augur well for their chances of a top 4 place. There's Lamela into Harry Kane, onside. Kane shoots straight at De Gea. Easily saved.
First shot on target. It was good play from Lamela. And he's actually slipped when he's hit the ball. Kane there, straight at De Gea. Nearly went through his legs. Actually sat on the ball. Good save at his near post.
Is that right, Robbie? Was that their first shot on target?
I would say so.
88 minutes.
Yeah, I would say so. And Kane's got, you've got to say with the form Kane's in, he thought he'd hit it across De Gea, but it was at his near post and it was a comfortable save for him.
Young from Manchester United, leading 3-0 as they led at half-time. Kane tackles him though and takes the ball off Young. And Kane again from Walker. Kane being pulled by Young, keeps his footing, then Young dives in and the ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw in to Tottenham Hotspur inside the final minute of the regular 90 here at Old Trafford. Winners the last 2 seasons at Old Trafford never looked likely today.
Yeah, you come into the game thinking, before the game, I thought Spurs could really get something, but they're disappointed. Did I really think Spurs could get in the top 4? No, I just don't think they're good enough. Yeah, they've had a good season, but again, just when you think, can they do it? No. Disappointing for the fans. Huge travelling numbers for Spurs, who have been very let down by a group of players today who have been absolutely woeful.
2 minutes of added time at the end of the regular 90 here. Manchester United 3, Tottenham 0. Walker looking for Harry Kane. Kane running down the right side, tackled by Jones. Jones hits the ball out of play, and it'll be a throw in to Spurs. It just ain't been Tottenham's afternoon. It certainly hasn't been Harry Kane's afternoon. The throw goes to Walker. Walker sort of barges into Raphael, keeps possession, finds Lamela, and Lamela back to Vertonghen inside the centre circle. They've got a minute to find a consolation goal. Mere consolation for Tottenham. Bentaleb turns away from Valencia, but then he has to look backwards because he's being hustled by Valencia. Hustled into a mistake. Rooney finds Falcao. Falcao loses it to Adebayor. Adebayor takes it very well and runs away from 2 Manchester United players. Tries to beat Raphael. Ball breaks back off the Brazilian fullback. Harry Kane picks it up. 40 seconds remaining. Kane down the right side. Maybe looking to try to win a corner. He's tackled by Young, and Young smashes it out of play for nothing worse than a throw-in.
He's worked hard, Harry Kane, but Smalling's done such a great job on him. He's been tight to him all afternoon. I think Smalling's been very, very good. When he hasn't have to pass the ball 30 or 40 yards, when he's defended, he's been very good, Smalling, today.
Throw-in goes to Harry Kane. Then Blint knocks it away. Rooney forward to Falcao. And Pereira, the kid, is on the far side of the field. It's with Herrera first. And now Valencia, who's rushing forward as if his life depended on it, as if it was 0-0. As we head into the remaining seconds, gone. That's the final whistle, and it's been a commanding win for Manchester United, Robbie.
Yeah, the first half, blew Spurs away with front foot football, forward passing, pace, and they were brilliant. As bad as Spurs were, Spurs haven't turned up today. Very poor performance, but Manchester United magnificent in that first half.
Manchester United 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Thank you, Alan. More from Robbie in a minute. Your calls welcome to 606 0500 909 693. First person the captain Rooney went to there was Falcao. He was only on for 11 minutes. I think he touched the ball about twice. But anyway, Rooney's desperate maybe for him to stay. We shall see. Great ovation for Juan Mata, wasn't it, when he was substituted, Robbie? I mean, one of the highlights of the day that we saw that in the early minutes when he went over to take a corner. They love him here. They'd love him to play more.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I think he's you know, the way United have played this season, different formations, he just hasn't quite fitted in. But today on the right-hand side, when he kept coming inside, he played very, very well and deserved the standing ovation today, because I think every Manchester United player today has been very, very good.
Well, you can't say the same thing for the Spurs players, who almost need to be dragged over to their fans in the far right corner, those who are left. Anyway, Harry Kane is the last to just give them a round of applause, but well, it's a trudge more than anything for those men in white as they head towards the tunnel to our left. It's full time as well at Goodison Park. Here's the latest with Will Perry.
The full-time whistle is just gone, and another goal to tell you about. Everton 3, Newcastle 0, but in stoppage time, Ross Barkley, Everton on the break, rounding Tim Krul and slotting low into the goal for a 3-0 win. Everton moved 6 points clear of the bottom 3 in the Premier League. A soft goal from James McCarthy put them ahead in the first half. His shot from the edge of the D, wrong-footed Tim Krul, beating him in the middle of the goal. With just under an hour played, Johan Gouffron brought down Aaron Lennon in the box. Martin Atkinson pointed to the spot. Romelu Lukaku scored the penalty, goal number 17 of the season. Shortly after, Fabrizio Colaccini showed a straight red for a dangerous tackle on Lennon, who was man of the match. Everton, though, still with QPR, Villa, Burnley and Sunderland to play, all scrapping for survival. So hugely significant 3 points. Their first win at Goodison Park this year. Everton 3, Newcastle 0.
So top of the Premier League table tonight, Chelsea 64 points, having played 28. That's one fewer than Manchester City, who played 29 and have 58 points. Now they'd love 68 points. Arsenal 57, United 56 now. Liverpool on 51 points, play tomorrow night at Swansea. You can hear that on Sports Extra. Southampton finished the weekend now in 6th position, having picked up a point at Chelsea, above Spurs. So Robbie Savage, Spurs could have gone on to the same number of points as the 4th place team today. Tonight they find themselves 7th.
I think they're out the race now.
Do you?
Yeah, 6 points behind Manchester United. Not playing well. You know, their performance against West Ham, was it, when they were, you know, they drew 2-2. I think they're out the race now. I didn't think Spurs would get in the top 4 anyway, but on that performance, even more so. 6 points behind United, behind Liverpool, behind Southampton. I don't think Spurs will get in the top 4. I think that their challenge for top 4 is over.
What are the possibilities for Manchester United now in the 9 games that remain?
Yeah, I done a thing on the BBC website predicting the results from now to the end of the season, and I had this down as a draw today. I thought the big game is next week, Liverpool against United, but just goes to show how big that game for Liverpool is tomorrow night now, because they're 5 points behind. If they get beat tomorrow, that game at Anfield next week becomes huge for Liverpool. But you know, I said, and I think United will finish 5th, but on Evans today, it's going to go to the wire.
Well, when the England manager Roy Hodgson turns up to Premier League games, sometimes he's lucky to watch 3 or 4 players who are eligible for his side. Today he watched 11. Evening, Roy, by the way. He always leaves before the end to beat the traffic. 11 players, very quickly, Robbie. He's got a positive column, he's got a negative column on his notepad. What does he rate? Phil Jones?
Well, all the United players were positive today. So
okay,
Phil,
Jones, yeah. Rooney, Smalling, Carrick and Young.
Yeah, huge positives. Carrick and Smalling, I think, were the outstanding players today for Roy Hodgson.
Yeah. Spurs, Walker?
No.
Rose?
No.
Dyer?
No.
Townsend?
No.
Harry Kane
was a positive. He worked hard, but he had no chance up against 2 very good centre-halves in Smalling and Jones today.
And Ryan Mason.
Paul, it's unfair to say on one occasion today for them Spurs players, over the course of the season. Danny Rose has obviously played well, but not played well today. So, you've got to say all the United players would have positive ticks, and all the Spurs players, English players, would have negative, except for the exception of Harry Kane, because he's been magnificent all
season. You always wonder, don't you, the last match before a squad is named, the coach has got to leave with thoughts in his head, and certainly, as you say, Smalling, Carrick, Young, terrific performances today for Manchester United. 3-0 winners over Tottenham Hotspur here at Old Trafford.